Hi kids, it's Bunny with another junk journal, and this one I call In Style. It's about vintage fashion, and it is a hardback and about I believe 9 by 6, something like that. And it has lady being fitted on the front and a pretty little applique and a cute little charm with a lady in it. It's being held together by this ribbon, lace ribbon, which I'll just slide off. And let me get this into the frame. There, okay. And as you can see, there is on the inside a lace pocket with a vintage hand pin holding a Christian symbol. And in the lace pocket there's a journaling card. All journaling cards are blank on the back, so you can journal on them. And there's a tag. All tags are blank on the back, so you can journal on them. And here is a little envelope I made, and inside of it, it's been so long since I made this, I can't remember even what's in there. There's a little flash card. I believe it's French. And in this envelope, there is a letter or a note for whoever buys the journal, telling them what you can use the journal for. And there is also a little advertising card from the 1800s on it. And it's very cute. And we'll put it all back together afterwards. There is another journaling card and a tag in that tuck, and there's lace on the edges of many of the pages. I should pull out a little bit. Yep, lace on the edges, and it's coffee dyed paper. There's little clusters and things like that throughout. And here is a doily, paper doily. Here's a page from a 1917 magazine pictorial review, and it has some fashions for kids. And here is a coffee dyed map with a little vintage playing card on it. And on this page there is clipped a movable pocket that has a journaling card, and on the other side it has a miniature journal, which has miniature ephemera and doilies and things like that in it. It's very cute. And fringe on the bottom, and you can move that anywhere you want in the journal. This is Electricity for Boys vintage book. Girls don't care about electricity, do we? And here is some vellum with a pretty picture on it of some vintage fashion. And this is a page from another vintage magazine Let me put something under this so it won't slide so much. And this is a picture of Luray Caverns, vintage, from a vintage brochure. Pardon me if I sniff, I'm having allergies today. And this is a big side pocket. I think this is a picture of them fitting someone with a topless bathing suit, which was popular in the 60s or 70s or something. I think that's what that is. And inside is a big journaling card and a vintage letter, love letter, from 1940, I think, from a soldier to his wife. Very sweet. More of Luray Caverns. More of the 1919 Ladies' Home Journal magazine. And here is more vellum. Here's a flip-out envelope. Inside of it is a pretty journaling card. And I did a little stenciling on the envelope. And on the other side there is a brochure from the Miller-Claytor House in Lynchburg, Virginia, from 1936. And more magazine fashion. And this tuck is a journaling card and a pretty tag. It's got a little bling on it. And here's a little, a little envelope. And inside of it is a, one of those tobacco trading cards, vintage. Got a little, what do you call that? Anyway, whatever it is. And this is a vintage postcard from 1900 something. 1900 something. And another pretty tag. And just pretty paper. This is a vintage package that had a pattern in it for these dresses. Made it into a page. Another page from Vintage Fashion Magazine. And this clamps on here. It's another one of those movable pockets with a journaling card and a little envelope, and inside of it is another one of those French flashcards. There's a peacock feather, just for the heck of it. Very fashionable, I think. And another little journaling card inside this little glassine bag. And this is a page from a vintage book. Has some song lyrics on it. Got some tassels here. Here in the middle we have, this was a dye, an ad for probably RIT or some other brand of dye for dyeing clothing. That was in one of the vintage magazines. And a couple of journaling cards. And here's another, what do you call it? Oh, it's terrible to get old. Okay, here is the alma mater for us from a vintage yearbook. Here's a vintage playing card in this bag. And journaling card. And another pretty tag. And here is a vintage library card. Rites of Passage. Okay. I'm sort of in a hurry because my camera sort of cuts off around 16 or 18 minutes. So I have to hurry. And here's a journaling card. And another journaling card. And this pocket here opens up so that you can, it's, you know, full page piece of paper you can write on. And then you just fold it back up like that. Easy peasy. And some more bits and bobs. Here is a little a little thing that folds up, and inside there's some bird feathers on either side and a journaling card. And here is another miniature journal, and this one is Itsy Bitsy Teensy Weensy, and it's got itsy bitsy teensy weensy stuff in it, so it's really cute. I think you'll enjoy looking through it. And more vintage book pages. Here's another flip out envelope with some a vintage button card and a journaling card. Sorry for the sniffing. And here's a vintage photograph. And this ad is from one of the vintage magazines. Top value stamp book page. More vellum with a pretty picture on it. This is a Columbia Records brochure from 1919 talking about the music of that year. And here's another one of those big side pockets. Inside of it is a big journaling card and a cabinet photo of a lady in very interesting fashion and a very interesting hat. Oh no, it's stuck. And there's some pictures of old actresses of old, and a journaling card and a tag. And here's a little envelope with it's got a little tiny vintage photograph in it, and another one of those collectible tobacco cards celebrating different necktie patterns. And some more vellum. And it's a journaling card. It's not a photograph, it's actually a journaling card. This is a vintage postcard, and I believe it's like 1909 something like that, I believe. And a little charm here. More little pages. Applique on here. Journaling card. And a tag. And this is a page from an old magazine with some fashions. Here's another one of those pockets that unfolds into a big piece of paper that you can write on. There's some more vintage book pages. Here's another vintage photograph. American School Rhythm Band in Burma. And this is from a vintage yearbook. This is from a vintage magazine that spotlights some of the designers of the day back in the early 1900s. Here's another little clip-on floating pocket with a journaling card, and here's a vintage tag off of someone's luggage. And in this glassine bag, there's a journaling card, some more fashions. Ruffle. Is that what you call it? A ruffle? Anyway. Pleated ruffle. Here is another pretty tag. I love the tags in this one. And journaling card. And another glassine envelope with another collectible tobacco card. Trading card. And there's a little pocket on this with a vintage ticket in it. And here is another journaling card and another journaling card. And I believe we've gotten to the back. Oh, my alarm went off. And it's a couple more journaling cards and a program from a Royal Theatre, and I forget what year it is, but it's vintage also. And that's it. I'm out of time. And I hope you like it, and I hope you'll visit my shop. And on Etsy, it is Mimosa Morn Journals. And I'll see you next time. Bye, bye, bye.